Hey everyone, this is Kirk here again from Option Alpha, and in this video we're going to be building completely from scratch a brand new RSI swing trading bot for credit spreads. It's a very simple bot that you can build out, and it shows you how you can start to automate different types of strategies inside of your account on Option Alpha. First, we're going to create the actual bot. We'll name it something like our RSI swing with spreads, give it a custom icon, and then we'll start moving down to the capital and position limits. Under the account tab, you're going to want to select what account the bot is going to be trading in. You could choose from any of your Option Alpha paper trading accounts that you create, or you can connect it to any of your brokerage accounts that are connected to your Option Alpha account. We'll keep this one in one of our Option Alpha paper trading accounts for now. Next, we're going to select the maximum capital that's going to be allocated to the bot. This is the total capital that's allocated to the bot to open positions. The bot will never allocate more than this amount here when it's opening new positions. So we might want to give it something like $5,000. Next, we're going to set the position limits. These are the position limits that scanners will key off of, and scanners will automatically be turned off when these position limits are reached, and they basically go into a dormant or sleep mode until a new position slot opens up. So this is where you can control how often or how many positions the bot is allowed to get into. Now remember, these are only limits for opening positions. The bot is never limited on closing positions, and you can always manually close or override positions at any point. So we're going to give the bot the opportunity to open 3 positions per day and 3 positions in total. We want the bot maybe to scan through a mini list of ticker symbols, which we'll show you, and then open up to 3 positions at any one time. Now, all 3 of those positions could come in the same day, or it could open 1 position per day until it reaches that total of 3 positions at any one time. Once we're good to go here, we simply hit create, and then we go over and view our bot. So our bot is completely empty now. It's an empty shell, and so all we have to do now is start adding our automations. Remember, automations are just the set of instructions that you give the bot to go through anytime that the automation is triggered. And you can trigger automations a couple different ways. You can trigger them through the use of scanners, which run every 15 minutes looking for new positions. So scanners that you add are going to be automations that eventually end with an open position action. You can also add monitor automations, which we'll do in this video, that run every 15 minutes to monitor open positions. Monitor automations are great because you can tell the bot exactly how you want to manage the position and at what points the bot might exit the position. And finally, you can add events. Events are when you want to schedule an automation to run at certain times or certain days of the week, or when certain events happen inside of the bot. For this RSI swing with spreads bot that we're going to be building, we only need 2 automations. 1 scanner to tell the bot exactly what we're looking for to enter positions, and then 1 automation to tell the bot how to manage our positions. Now for this particular example, we're going to be building out a really simple version of this swing trading bot. You can of course get a lot more complex and a lot more in-depth with any of the decisions or automations that you choose to run. To add our scanner, we'll just click the button to add a new scanner, then select a scanner from the drop-down list. Notice we can choose from any of the automations that are already saved in our library. That way we don't have to recreate any automations in the future. We can create copies or modified versions of those and reuse them here. In this video though, we'll go ahead and build out a brand new scanner automation. We'll call this something like RSI scanner for spreads. Whatever name you give it is up to you, and you just give it a name that you know exactly what that automation is doing. Next, we'll start adding actions. We're going to tell the bot what to do and when to take certain decisions or take actions in the portfolio. The first thing that we're going to add here is we're going to add a loop through symbols. Loops are really cool because what they allow you to do is specify a list of ticker symbols that you want the bot to scan through, and then it will make all the same decisions and take all the same actions for each of those independent symbols as it goes through the loop. So we select our symbols here, and maybe we want to scan through a list of a couple different ETFs that we want to trade. Again, we can put in up to 10 symbols here that we want the bot to loop through and scan through. It's not going to enter all of those positions because we only gave it the ability to enter 3 positions per day and 3 positions in total. So even though it's going to be scanning through 10 symbols, it might only find a couple different entries per day or per week, depending on the different RSI levels in the market. Once we're good to go here with our symbols, we simply hit save, and then we add that symbol loop to our scanner. So we have our loop in place. That's telling us that when the automation starts running, it will first loop through these particular symbols that we've designated. Now we have to tell the bot what to do when it's looking at each symbol. Next, we're going to add an action to take a decision. The first thing that we want the bot to do is we want the bot to check some RSI levels. Remember what we said earlier, we wanted to swing trade using an RSI indicator. So we go down to our list of recipes here, and we're going to use this top recipe here that's just going to be checking one of the very simple indicators that we can use, in this case RSI. So using this natural language recipe, all we have to do is fill out all the fields or change any of the variables to make it exactly what we want for this decision. First thing that we have to do is connect it to a symbol. We can choose a symbol manually here, but we already have the bot looping through individual symbols. So we can just use the custom inputs here to connect it to any of the symbols that it's currently looping through. So using this natural language recipe, all we have to do is fill out all the fields or change any of the variables to make it exactly what we want for this decision. First thing that we have to do is connect it to a symbol. We can choose a symbol manually here, but we already have the bot looping through individual symbols. So we can just use the custom inputs here to connect it to any of the symbols that it's currently looping through. Next, we can change the length of the RSI period if we want to and choose something a little bit shorter, like 7 days or something longer. You can choose a different technical indicator if you want to. In this case, these are all of the technical indicators that use this specific recipe framework, though we have other ones like Bollinger Bands and MACD and stochastics that use other recipes. And then we choose the actual indicator itself reading, whether we want to use the RSI on an intraday basis or whether we want to reference RSI values from a couple days ago. Next, we're going to choose whether the indicator is above or below some certain value. So this is where we can start to get really specific on how we want the bot to make decisions. First, we're going to check and see if the symbol's 7-day RSI intraday, so the intraday value of RSI, is currently above 80. This would be a high overbought reading for this particular symbol and might be exactly how we want to trade using RSI. Again, you can notice that this is completely customizable to how you want to trade. So you can type in something like 70 or something like 60. Again, in our case, we'll use a more traditional approach, which is checking to see if the RSI reading is currently above 80. Once we've added this decision recipe, we can click Save and then add it back to our automation editor. Now again, when the automation starts running, it's going to loop through these symbols, and then for each individual symbol, it's going to independently check and see if each symbol's RSI reading for that day is above 80. Now, what's really cool about this is you can test this logic immediately as you're starting to build out your automation. You can run a test right inside of the automation editor and start to see the data pulling in. So for this particular symbol that it's looping through first, SPY, you see that currently the RSI reading is not above 80. You can get more information on this reading by just clicking the decision log and see the actual values that are coming in. Notice that if we loop through the additional symbols here, we can see all of the results for any symbol that we included in our list. Notice that all of these decisions are currently showing as not above 80. And again, we can click through any single symbol here and check all the decisions that the bot is making and test our logic right as we go. Now we want to start building out the other side of this decision for RSI swing trading. So first we're going to check and see if the symbol's RSI reading is above 80. And if it is above 80, then we might want to enter a new position. But if it's not above 80, we want to now check and see if the RSI reading is below 20. So down the no path, we add a new decision. We're going to add the same exact recipe, only we're going to flip the actual signal around. Now we're going to go down to our list of indicators. Again, we can connect it to an individual symbol that it's looping through. We'll change this to a 7-day RSI just like we had before, and go over and now swap these two variables. We'll now check and see if the RSI reading is below a value of 20. This would suggest that this current symbol that it's looping through is now extremely oversold. So once we have this decision in place, we simply add it to our automation editor. At this point now we have both of our technical triggers or indicators set up. It's looping through, checking to see if the individual symbol is either above 80 or is currently below 20 on a 7-day RSI reading. Now that we have the framework of this RSI scanner in place, we have to add the types of positions we would want the bot to open if either of these statements are true. Notice that we can now start to add actions to the bot based on the path and the market criteria that it's currently going through. So here we would go to the next action to open a position. And we're opening this position action down the yes path if RSI is above 80. So in this case, we might want to open a short call spread and sell some options far out of the money. We click on the recipe for opening a short call spread, and now we have the ability to fill out all of the different fields to specify exactly how we want this bot to open a position. Again, you can select an individual symbol, or you can of course use the custom inputs to connect it to one of the symbols that it's already looping through. This allows you to use the custom input to make it more flexible, open the same type of position across multiple symbols inside of your scanner automation. Next, we select the expiration, and we select all of the legs, amounts, and how we want the order to be priced and order sent to our broker. For right now, we'll just use a 30 delta. That's a pretty common delta that we can use, and we'll adjust this long call leg using, again, a bunch of different recipes. This helps you specify exactly how you want the bot to open your positions. In our case, we'll go ahead and tell the bot to open the long call leg just $1 above the short call leg. Now we can reference deltas or percentages or dollars or standard deviations or any other combination of things you can think of when you're opening your position. Next, we'll select the amount or the number of contracts that we want to trade. Again, you can use a bunch of different recipes here to key this amount off of a certain percentage of the bot's allocation, up to a certain amount of risk, or tell it exactly how many contracts to trade. In our case, we can change this to something like 2 contracts. That tells the bot to specifically open 2 contracts whenever it gets to this open short call spread action in the automation. Next, we tell the bot exactly how we want the orders to be submitted to the broker. In this case, you can set your default smart pricing to normal smart pricing that uses up to 4 prices and 10 seconds apart. You can make it a little bit quicker, or you can set it to patient smart pricing. I typically use patient smart pricing for opening positions because I want the bot to try a lot of prices and space them out evenly, looking for the best opportunity to fill the price. I can also set a final price here and tell the bot not to go more than 75% of the bid-ask spread. This ensures that I don't overpay for a position and the bot still has an opportunity to try multiple positions if the spread is wide. Once I'm good to go with all of my price settings, I simply hit save. Now I've got my open short call spread position added. All I have to do is save this to add the action to the automation editor. This is really cool because now what we've done is we've told the bot exactly how we want to open positions and exactly under what circumstances we would ever get to the point of opening a short call spread. We would only go down the yes path or get to this point if the symbol's 7-day RSI intraday reading is above 80. If it's not above 80, then it's going to try to make another decision. And in this case, again, if the intraday reading is below 20, we want the bot to open a short put spread position. Not a short call spread position, a short put spread position. So we do the same thing that we did here for the short call spread, and we just tell the bot to open a position down this yes path. You can reuse some of the recent positions that you've had here if you wanted to add a modified version because the bots are intelligent enough to know that you're already using this position recipe, or you can build out a new position recipe like we'll do now. We want to build out a short put spread, and we'll connect it to the same symbol that we're looping through. Now when we trade short put spreads, maybe we want to go out a little bit further in time. We don't want to trade something 30 days, maybe we want to go out to something around 45 days and only trade the monthly expirations. Notice again, you can specify exactly how you want the bot to trade your position and under what circumstances it opens that position in your account. We'll set our short delta leg a little bit lower and try to go a little bit further out of the money here, setting our delta at 20, and then we'll key the long delta just a couple dollars below that leg. Maybe on the put side, we're willing to open up a $2 wide spread, and so we'll go $2 below our short put leg of the position. Again, you can use all of these recipes here to specify exactly how you want the bot to open your trade. On the put spread side, maybe we'll keep it at 1 contract, and again, we'll change our smart pricing to use patient smart pricing and allow the smart pricing system to go through the bid-ask spread up to 65%. All of these are just samples and examples of how you could set up your particular trade. Once you're good to go, you simply hit save and then add this to the automation editor. So let's go through this automation now and test our logic and just walk through the different steps. First, when the automation starts running and starts scanning, it'll loop through these symbols that we put into our symbol loop. Then for each of the symbols, it will check and see if the 7-day RSI reading for that particular symbol is above 80. If it is above 80, it will continue down the yes path and open a short call spread position. Again, this is assuming that the bot has enough capital and that the bot has enough slots available to enter that position. If the RSI reading is not above 80, it will continue down the no path and then check to see if the RSI intraday reading is below 20. Again, if the reading here is below 20 and that answers yes to this decision, it will continue down the yes path and open a short put spread position. Again, if there's capital available and position slots available inside of the bot. If neither of these decisions are true and they result in a no answer, then the bot will just simply go all the way to the no path and end. And that's okay. That's actually exactly what we want the bot to do. We want the bot to constantly look for and monitor these symbols, looking for opportunities to enter a swing trade using RSI signals that we entered here. But if RSI is neither high nor low for any of these particular symbols, then we want the bot to just simply end its scan and then start it all over again at the next interval. This is the beauty of using bots. You don't have to remember to do this for all of your symbols, and you certainly don't have the time or the capacity to do this on all of the different things that you monitor constantly throughout the day. So you just offload all of that activity and all of those processes to the bot to have them completely automated. Now there's one thing inside of this automation that we didn't add just yet, and I specifically saved towards the end because I want to show you how you can proceed decisions with other actions. It's actually really easy to do and modify inside of the automation editor. But as it currently stands, the bot could open multiple positions at every interval that it runs through in the same ticker symbol. So assume that we turn this automation on and the first automation runs, it could open a new position in any of these symbols if the position has an RSI reading above or below 80 like we suggested. But we can add a decision here to first check and see if the bot even has a position in any of these symbols. That would allow us then to prevent the bot from opening multiple positions in the same symbol. Again, you just simply go to the decision you want to proceed with another decision and then click on one of the actions. In this case, we want the bot to first check and see if it already has a position in that underlying symbol. And if it does already have a position in that symbol, we want the bot to end the automation and not have an opportunity to enter another position. Essentially, we don't want to stack positions inside of this bot. So we're going to go down here to this recipe to check and see if the bot already has a position with an existing symbol. Again, we only want the bot to open a position if it has 0 positions with that symbol. So to do this, we're going to have the bot make a decision. Check and see if the bot has exactly 0 positions with the symbol that it's currently looping through. Again, you can connect this using the custom inputs, and this will check right before it starts checking all of these RSI values if the bot has exactly 0 positions with that given symbol. That will then allow us to be comfortable to not step on or stomp on existing positions that we already have and ensure that the bot only opens one position for each individual symbol. So once we're good to go here, we simply hit save, and then we have to choose where the action proceeds. And we're going to say it's going to proceed the yes path. So this means that our automation is now completely built out. Again, you can notice how easy it was to add additional actions, modify any fields, or use a bunch of other variables if you want to make this more custom to you. Now when the automation starts, it will loop through each of these individual symbols. If the bot has exactly 0 positions with that symbol, it's allowed to continue down the yes path and check all of our technical indicators. If the bot doesn't have 0 positions, so it has 1, 2, or any other number of positions in that symbol, then it simply ends for that symbol. And we'll continue looking at the next symbol, and the next symbol, and the next symbol in the loop. Again, you can test all of your logic here right inside of your bot automation. You can start a test here and go through all of the different criteria for each individual symbol. We can just loop through all of the symbols that it's looking at and check and see if any of them would trigger a new trade today. Notice that all of the ones that we're looking through right now currently don't have any high or low RSI readings. We can modify any of these readings just to test the logic here and see if it would open a position by simply editing any of these automations and then retesting the actual bot. Notice that all we did here was temporarily change the high RSI reading from 80 to 50. This allows us to retest our logic right inside of the automation. And if we go over to any of our tickers, you'll see that, for example, with EEM, it did go through the logic where it would enter a short call spread position. It got through the first decision to check and see if the bot had exactly 0 positions with that symbol, which it currently does because it's a brand new bot. Then it checked to see if the RSI reading for that symbol was above 50, which it was, and it would open a new short call spread position. Now again, this is just a test. It's not actually opening the position in your account, but it's testing the logic that you're putting into the automation so you can double check yourself and make sure it's working exactly the way that you want. In this case, it would have opened a EEM January 14th negative 51 call and long 52 call. So short the 51 call, long the 52 call, which is exactly how we set up our open position action. Once you're good to go with this automation, just simply exit out of the test. And then of course you can switch back any of the fields or variables inside of your automation to exactly what you want. So our scanner is completely built out now. We have it doing exactly what we want, making all of the decisions and taking all of the actions inside of this new bot. Once we're good to go, we simply save and exit out of the scanner automation. Now that scanner has been added to our list of scanners, and notice that of course when you're building out new bots by default, all of your automations are turned off. It's not until you've actually fully built out and added all of your automations that you can choose to turn on your automations and start your bot. So at this point, we have half of our bot built. We've told it exactly what to look for and how to scan for opportunities. Now we want to build out our monitor automation. Monitors, again, are great because they allow you to tell the bot exactly how you want the bot to manage the position. What's really cool about using monitors and automations inside of your account is you can reuse a lot of the same logic inside of your bots. If I wanted to, I could create a copy of this scanner and switch out a bunch of fields and actions and use it as my monitor automation. Or I could reuse existing monitors that I have in my library or saved in other folders. For this one, we're going to build out a brand new monitor automation. We're going to call this our spread monitor for RSI. Again, that's just the name that we give it, and you can give it whatever name works for you and is logical to organize. Next, we're going to start this with a position loop. Position loops are very similar to symbol loops, except they're looping through existing positions. Symbol loops are looping through a mini watch list of tickers looking for trading opportunities. But when you use position loops, you're telling the bot to specifically loop through all of the positions that the bot has. In this case, you can even specify the type of position here, and you can have the bot only loop through certain types of positions, like long call spreads or short call spreads, or iron condors or iron butterflies. This allows you to pinpoint exactly how you want that monitor automation to work. In our case, we'll first have the bot loop through any position that the bot currently opens. Again, we're going to do a very simple spread monitor here, but of course you can make it more complex or more in-depth if you want to. So we're going to tell the bot to first loop through each position that it has as soon as that position gets opened. And it will continuously loop through all of these positions, making all of the decisions that we set here. Now we're going to have the bot check some position level information. First, we want the bot to go down and check and see if the bot has a 50% profit on any of its spreads. Again, you can go down to the position section of recipes, which are only used, of course, if you're looping through existing positions, and you can select from any of these recipes. Here, we're going to check and see if the premium increased or decreased by a certain amount since the position was opened. Now, this is really intuitive because what we can do here is we can connect this to an existing position it's looping through, very similar to how we did with the actual symbol loops. Now we can check if the premium increased or decreased. You can use this recipe as your profit-taking recipe or use additional versions of this as your stop loss if you wanted to as well. Here we're going to check and see if the premium decreased. That's because we're trading short option spreads, which means that if the premium goes down, that would designate a profit. We're going to check and see if the premium decreased by 50% for any position since it was opened. So once we add that to our decision list, we just save it into the automation editor. Now when this monitor automation runs for any position that's open, it will repeat through all the positions inside of the bot and independently check each and every position to see if the position went down by 50% since it was opened, which would be a 50% profit. If you wanted to, you could even make this a little bit more custom to exactly what you're used to for this actual decision recipe. You can say something like check for 50% profit. And that tells you exactly what this particular step is doing just by editing the caption. If it does have a 50% profit, then we want to add an action to close the position. Notice that we can just connect it to whatever position the bot's looping through now, and we tell the bot exactly how we want the orders sent to our broker. Again, you can use the different levels of smart pricing, set your exact final price, a specific price, or a price based on the trade price times some sort of math or multiplication. Here we can use a little bit more aggressive pricing. Maybe we want to use speedy smart pricing to try to get multiple orders submitted immediately to our broker in timed intervals, trying to get, let's say, 80% through the bid-ask spread. Because we have a 50% profit, maybe we're willing at this point to use a little bit more of an aggressive setting for orders to try to get the position filled and exited. Once we're good to go, we simply hit save and then add that close position action to our bot. Now down the no path, let's build out all of the logic if we didn't have a 50% profit. And this is where I always tell people that just think about all the things that you do now manually that you can offload to the actual bot. You typically, with a short premium or option position, might check and see if you're getting close to expiration. So let's add a decision here to have the bot check and see if the position expires in a certain number of days. We can go down to our list of position recipes and use this recipe here. We're going to connect this to whatever position the bot's looping through and then check and see if the position expires in, say, less than 3 market days. This means that if the position is getting close to expiration, we might also want to close the position. So here we're going to go and connect it to our existing position, choose all of our ways that we want the order submitted to our broker using smart pricing or turning it off if we wanted to, and then go ahead and save. Now we have a really simple monitor automation built out. And of course, we can add a lot more logic to this and or decisions, group decisions, have the bot make a number of decisions, spread this decision recipe out based on the type of position that it's in, whether it's a call spread or put spread. There's truly no limit to how you can build these out inside of your account. For now, we're just going to use this very simple example. Again, every time that this automation runs for positions, it will loop through each position that the bot currently has open, check for 50% profit first. If the bot has a 50% profit, it will close the position. And if the bot does not have a 50% profit on that position, then it will check and see if the position expires in 3 days. If it does expire in 3 days, it will again close the position. If neither of these decisions are true, the bot doesn't have a 50% profit and it doesn't expire in 3 days, then it simply goes down the no branch and ends the automation. And this is great. This allows the bot to recheck all of these values and all of this information all over again at the next automation run. This is exactly what bots were built to do. Take all of the manual, tedious, emotional processes that you go through as a trader and offload them to automation. Now the bot is in complete control and management of that position. Of course, you can interfere or override positions at any time and close them manually inside of your account, but you can always let the bot take care of management and let the bot continuously look for opportunities to close the position. Once you're good to go with this monitor automation, you just simply exit and save out of it and then add it to your list of automations. Now our bot is completely built out. We have our scanner automation here that is looking for opportunities to get into positions. And we have our monitor automation that's monitoring any position that the bot gets into. Our new RSI swing trading bot can completely and automatically enter positions and exit positions for us in our account. The only thing that's left to do is simply turn on the automations and let the bot start running.